Hello people, this is me Profar. The fighting game community right now is wild after what Bandai-Namco has announced at EVO last Sunday. Now, I do play fighting games often, as you guys already know. However, I'm not into the whole competitive aspects of fighting game. I mostly play fighting games in single player or just for the fun of it. I'm not too familiar with events like EVO, so I'm just going to talk about what Bandai-Namco has announced for Tekken in that event. Tekken is arguably one of the best fighting game franchises ever, there's no doubt about that. I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy when it comes to fighting games, but I played a lot of Tekken games as well. I'm not a pro player when it comes to Tekken. I have much Tekken skills as DSP Gaming in his fighting game career. If you ask me, what is the best Tekken game? My personal best Tekken game would be Tekken 5. Now, on with the announcement. Bandai Namco has released two major announcements in regards to Tekken. The first announcement was balance adjustment patch for Tekken 7 and the return of Tekken World Tour in 2022. Once again, I'm not too familiar with things like this since I'm not a competitive fighting game player. I heard that this is going to be the last Tekken 7 update, so most likely there are not going to be new characters for the game. Now, the second announcement was the one that made people lost their minds. There is a short teaser footage with Tekken 1 graphics where we see Kazuya carrying Heihachi on a cliff and threw his body off of it. Then we get to see Kazuya's face transitions from the Tekken 1 graphics to a more modern looking graphics. Then there are the words, "Get ready," with a voiceover that is not the Tekken 7 announcer. This shot alone made people absolutely lose their minds. Even the announcers at EVO were going nuts with this. You also have Harada himself joined in on the fun.
Get ready. Steve! No! Steve! Let's go! Let's go! Oh my God! It's Harada! Ashek Harada! No way! We're not gonna fight! This is ridiculous! It's pandemonium! Is that real? Is that real? Is it real?
Now, they didn't specifically say what it is, but this could possibly be Bandai Namco announcing Tekken 8 coming soon. Personally, I'm looking forward to Tekken 8. I enjoyed Tekken 7 for what it is, but I can't really say the game is one of the best Tekken games I've ever played, let alone the best fighting game. I'll get into that as we discuss on what I want to see improved in Tekken 8. I'm not going to talk about the in-depth combat mechanics on Tekken 7 because I'm not an expert in regards to the technicalities of fighting games. What I am going to talk about is more on the content aspect, though I will be talking about one combat mechanic that kind of ruins the fun for Tekken 7 for me. There are three things that I believe Tekken 8 can improve. Number 1. The main story mode should be a special mode in its own. Number 2. Arcade mode with longer stages. Number 3. Improve or remove the rage art system. My main issue with Tekken 7 is the lack of single player content. The reason why I think Tekken 5 is the best Tekken game is that the game is a good fighting game in terms of mechanics and also provided players with a rich amount of single player content. I understand the popularity of competitive fighting games, especially these days, but I don't think fighting games should risk single-player content for the sake of a mostly online competitive experience. Let's start with story mode first. I do like how Tekken 7 approached a more focused Mishima family conflict story mode. However, I really don't like how short the story mode is. The main story of the Mishima is really short. Then you got the individual story modes that only last for one match. It is really underwhelming, especially for a fighting game. Now, what I want to see return in Tekken 8 is some form of an adventure mode for the main story mode. You guys remember The Devil Within in Tekken 5, right? It's basically a 3D beat-em-up game where you play as Kazama Jin. Maybe Tekken 8 can have something like that in the main story mode. The story for Tekken 8 is most likely going to focus on Jin and Kazuya's conflict. I don't know, maybe another The Devil Within mode can work for Tekken 8, especially with this kind of story. The second thing that Tekken 8 can improve is the arcade mode. Tekken 7 has a lot of updates and DLCs, yet they didn't even bother to update the arcade mode. Arcade mode in Tekken 7 only has 5 stages still. To me, arcade mode should have 8 to 10 stages. Tekken 8 should bring back arcade mode with at least 8 stages. Not only that, bring back individual endings for arcade mode as well. The third aspect that personally I don't want to see in Tekken 8 is rage art. I'm not a big fan of desperate super move in fighting games, honestly, but I get why they have a place there. Now, my major problem with rage art in Tekken 7 is not the move itself. It's more how rage arts are implemented in the game. There are two major problems with rage art in Tekken 7. Number 1. Every time you initiate a rage art, you enter a short cinematic. Your character cannot move during the cinematic. In order to block or evade, you have to do it a second before the enemy performs a rage art. If you fail to do so, then you will get hurt by the rage art. Number 2. If one player misses to land a rage art, then that player is completely open to an opponent's rage art. Though I don't like desperate super move in general, I can see rage art still being a thing in Tekken 8. What Bandai Namco can do to improve rage art is copy how Mortal Kombat 11 does the fatal blow move. Your opponent doesn't freeze when you initiate a fatal blow, and you're not open to be hit by another fatal blow as well. So that's all I have to say in regards to a possible Tekken 8 game. Honestly, however Bandai Namco is going to approach Tekken 8, I'm positive that they are going to deliver a really good fighting game regardless. So what are your thoughts on their possible Tekken 8? Let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, this is me, Profar. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give me a thumbs down. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the Profar Mokoi Hunter X Discord server. I'll see you guys in the next video.